unfortunate thing I hear sometimes from people in the industry is that the client didn't want it bad enough. And that often is frustrating for me to hear because I don't believe that somebody tries to get a coach, just signs up, invest their money, invest their time, and doesn't want to see a change. And I think part of the reason why someone hires a coach is because they recognize they can't do it on their own, alone in this current setup. Maybe in other circumstances they would be able to do it on their own, but right now they need a coach and need to get started. So for any point for the coach to say that that client doesn't want it bad enough, it's not my problem, it is frustrating to me. And why am I even saying this to you is because there might be some belief that is in the greater environment, the greater, maybe even you sometimes might believe that yourself, like, I don't want this bad enough and that's why I'm not succeeding. And I don't think that to be true, because it's not the desire to make the change, it's the tools, it's the resources, it's the plan on how to do that. Because everyone, I think at some point, has a desire to make the change. It's quite often at the beginning of every year, New Year's resolution, that happens quite often, and people do make a change. And I think I saw some stat the other day that 8% of the people 6 months later are not still doing or have not achieved their New Year's resolution. And that's interesting because everybody has the intent. You should see the facilities in January, certainly busier and busier. So the desire is there. But the point is, it's about the plan. So you know that you want to get there. You have the energy, you have the motivation. All you need to do is put the steps in order. And I've always said, start where you are with what you have and just go. Begin with the small steps. Sometimes you've fallen off and it's not because you don't want it bad enough. Life got in the way. So how do you get back on track? You just start with the first step. Maybe it's the first day, the first walk, the first meal track, whatever it might be. You just got to get started. And if you don't get started, of course it's going to feel like you don't want it. But it's because you're making a big problem out of something simple and small. Just get started. That's where it is. And yes, have somebody who will help you to get through those feelings that you're not doing it enough, you're not doing this. You need somebody to bounce that idea off of and to say, listen, look how much you've lost. Look how much you've accomplished. Look how strong you are. Look how many clothing sizes you've gone down. You want this. I know you want this because you came here and you signed up and you come often and you continue to come often. So if you drop off, it's not because you don't want it. It's because the plan that we're trying to put in doesn't fit your lifestyle. So we need to find a way to fit your lifestyle. And again, we can't blame. We need to find solutions. We need to find a way to make it work for you. And yes, you're going to be frustrated at times. That's okay. That's understandable. I just got to keep you out of your way and get back, get on track. Start with that first step, that first 5,000 steps, that first 8 glasses of water, whatever it is that fits your target, your nutrition, your protein, your workout, etc., etc. But you got to get started. And never, ever listen to somebody say that you don't want it bad enough. Because the fact is, you want it bad enough that sometimes these steps to get there are confusing or overwhelming or just too much for right now. So instead, you got to find a way to get started, get going, start to build up some momentum, and then you'll be there. But you do want it. And no matter what somebody says, you have to find a way that fits you.